Hi guys, welcome back to another solo run video on the RetroBrown channel. Couldn't get my words out there. So this time we chose Onyx on the wheel last time, because as you know now we choose the Pokemon at the end of the previous video for the next week. So let's have a quick chat about Onyx. So it's a rock ground type, very iconic in Gen 1, especially for Brock's Onyx. But this is the thing that has become a bit of a meme on the internet. So even though Onyx is this massive rock snake, very heavy, very bulky defensive wise, its attack's less than a Caterpie. Yeah, its attack is less than a Caterpie. But believe that or not, Onyx's attack is less than a Caterpie. Because that Pokemon logic, that's what it is, Pokemon logic. So let's go pick up our Onyx. We're going to replace Charmander so that our final battle is against a Blastoise. And we're going to call Onyx Balboa because, you know, he's Rocky Balboa. Please like me. So let's get on with the run. Onyx starts off with two moves. One of them which is fantastic. The other one, yeah, kind of mediocre. Run the mill. Screech is a fantastic move to start off with. Tackle, not so much. It's what, 35 base power? It's not great to talk about. And with our very low attack, yeah, Tackle is not a great move to be using at this stage of the game. But because it's teamed up with Screech, we can get double defense drops, and that way we can actually make sure our attacks do some damage. Because otherwise we'd probably be doing like 1 or 2 damage pretty much each hit. And because I know Brock is coming up, and we actually don't get another move till level 15 at Bide, it's worth our time to actually go and train up against other trainers. So we're going to the rival to the west of Viridian, and from there we can get a few more levels by going up against his Pidgey and his Squirtle. Annoyingly at this stage though, the Squirtle is level 8, and I think it does have Bubble. Yes, it does have Bubble, and that's how much damage it does because of our terrible special stat. Thankfully, the Squirtle complies, doesn't use any other bubbles or tackles, and we can manage to get through on our first try. So getting those levels up early is going to be definitely crucial. But when it actually comes to Brock, we've got a really big problem because we don't have Bide, but he does. So because of our insane defense, like I think 160 defense by Onyx is the highest in Gen 1. I will have to double check that because I think the likes of Rhydon or maybe Golem have got around about the same or higher. Or even, actually no, Cloyster does have the highest defense, I think at 170, so yeah. Anyway, enough rambling. Geodude goes down pretty easily, to be fair. We use Screech against Onyx whenever it uses Bide. We can use Tackle, and even after all those Screeches are set up, it's still doing 1 or 2 damage, so this is not looking good whatsoever, guys. We might have to be a high level just to beat this Onyx. Yeah, this is going to go horribly. Bide is doing big damage. His Tackle is doing loads. Yeah, I think we're going to have to be a high level at this. But what high level do we need to be? And if we did get level 15 and get Bind, that way we could actually stall out a bit. Bind's a terrible move at 15, but we don't really have many other options. We could go up to level 19 where we get Rock Throw and get the same type of attack bonus, or Stab as it's known. But I don't want to be that high. I actually think it's very possible just getting up one more level at level 13. We've got to make sure that we use we work around Bide at the right stages. And as you can see here, that 1 extra level is giving us a bit more attack, and it's actually becoming a bit more of an even battle. So the worst thing he can do is he can use Tackle. Best thing that he can do is use Bide, and we're at 1 HP. Can we still do this? You know, I'm going for it. And we do it, level 13 with 1 HP left. I didn't think we'd be able to do that at level 13. But Onyx is actually starting to change my mind because I've never had a great impression of it. And in Mount Moon, I'm showing you this because I accidentally ran into this trainer here, and this just is another example of how bad our special is. 2 absorbs when we're at level 18. That Oddish was 7 levels below us, and it still took us out with 2 absorbs. So yeah, we're not looking we're very good right now. So there's not much else to do. We've got to make sure we can one-shot more special type attackers. There's no way we're going to beat Misty. No way in hell we're going to beat Misty. So we're going to go for the rival. We'll get some experience up on Nugget Bridge. We'll move through that way. Now this is a good time to talk about something I don't usually talk about in these videos. Onyx is actually part of the medium level up group. And if you're not familiar with how they work, you've got like fast growth, medium growth, slow growth, and another one which escapes my mind. That actually plays a big factor into a lot of these videos depending on what your growth level is. You can get up levels earlier and quicker. You've got a great... It just depends how good you do at different points in the game. Like, for example, a Dragonite would be in the slow level up group, so it levels up very, very slow, and that kind of explains why we had a lot of problems with the Dratini run, because it was a slow level up group. We had to go against extra trainers that became slower. That's how the Dratini run became really tedious. So at the end of Nugget Bridge, there is this trainer with 2 Odysseus and a Pidgey. Now I've gone against every single trainer I possibly could here, and this Odyssey trainer is just a big problem. Basically, the way you get through this at level 25, which is the highest that I could get without having to go against wild Pokemon, you have to get a crit on the very first Oddish, make sure you don't get sand attacked by the Pidgey, and then when it came to the final Oddish, you've got enough HP to tank at least 1 Absorb, maybe 2 at that range, and from there you can actually get past the trainer, which is... This took me a long time to get past her, because I was trying like bind strats, I was trying Screech, and honestly, you just couldn't get through it without using Rock Throw. And Rock Throw is not a good move. 50 base power and 85, 60, I can't really read that off there. I think it says 65. 65% accuracy. And that is one of the best rock moves in Gen 1. You've got Rock Slide, which is the best rock move in Gen 1. And that's probably about it. There aren't many rock moves in Gen 1. Which is testament to why rock types were not very favoured in the earlier generations. When you got to the likes of Gen 7, when you got Accelerock and more moves like that, and Stone Edge, yeah, the rock type became a real threat. But in earlier generations, rock types were just not a big threat. But what makes Onyx good is its dual typing. So we are rock ground type. It means that we are quad weak to grass types and water types, I think it is. That also means that we do get stab bonus on the likes of Earthquake and Dig, which will be the main moves that we go forward with, really. And we'll pick up Rock Slide when we get Celadon, but in order to get through a lot of these battles, ground type moves are going to be the way forward, and because we get that stab bonus on it, Earthquake goes from being a 100 base power move to a 120 at the least. So Dig in the same vein, it's 100 base power in Gen 1, it'll go up to 120 base attack. And because we don't learn any special moves, we have to be a physical attacker. We can't use Explosion, which you can get as a TM. We can't use Self-Destruct because we're on a solo run. If we Self-Destruct or Explode, that's that attempt over. We have to start again. I could pick up Double Edge later down the line. I could get Mimic, which actually might be very helpful. But even with our ridiculously low special, it's not going to really work. I've talked a bit long over this bit here. The rival on the SSN actually turned out to be quite difficult, even though we're level 29 at this point. The Raticate and the Pidgeotto are not really a problem whatsoever. It's just when it comes to that War Turtle that it becomes a big problem. So Kadabra we actually outspeed because we do have decent speed, 70 base speed. But when it comes to that War Turtle, as soon as we get hit by a water move, we just go down instantly. We had to make sure that Dig would hit. That was the key. And we're getting through that battle at level 30, which is higher than I wanted it to be. So before we can even go against Surge, unfortunately now we have to go against Misty. And this is not going to be a good matchup. We've been quad weak. We don't have super effective moves. Yeah, we're going to have to one-shot with Dig on each Pokemon, which I don't think is possible against that Starmie at this level, and our pretty bad attack. we don't even tank a bubble beam with 10 levels below it. So yeah, this is this. I was actually getting to this point in the run, like, and Misty took me a lot of tries to get the RNG right. Yeah, it took me a lot of tries. The way that we got through that, from as you see there, we had to hope that she used the next defend first, because even though we're 10 levels higher, her Starmie was still quicker. So we had to have that next defend, use dig, and hope for a crit. Only way we could do it at level 30. There's not really much point talking about Surge. He's an Electro-type gym leader. We're pretty well stacked against him. Like, Dig is just going to take down all of his Pokemon. There's no point really talking about it. So the next things that are up are going to be Rock Tunnel. Rock Tunnel's going to be easy, because we've got ground-type moves to get us through it. Especially the Exploding Graveler Trainer. But the next gym that is chronologically coming up is Erica. So we're not going to have a good matchup against her. So I went up to Lavender instead of going over to Celadon first, because I want to see how he did against the rival. Because we've chosen Squirtle as his starter, he won't have a Gyarados here, which is actually, in our way, working in our favour. Growlithe is weak to ground and rocks moves, so Dig is going to be an easy move to use there. We'll go up to level 35. We haven't even gone to Celadon yet. Execute. This is where I realised Execute and Executor will become a big problem later on. Not because they've got powerful grass moves. In fact, it's weird that the champion doesn't have Solar Beam on his Executor. But we don't have anything that's really super effective against him. We'd have to go with the likes of Body Slam, Double Edge, whatever we decide to use later on. But we do manage to beat him first time, but it's kind of because we're just over-leveled at this point. Giovanni is going to be an interesting one. Considering we're using one of his iconic Pokemon, especially, well, early game iconic Pokemon. The main thing is we don't want to be hit by a ground-type move. Other than that, it's going to be an easy battle. Rhyhorn, the Onyx both go down with Dig, Kangaskhan. If we can use one or two Screeches on it, because our attack is so low, we need that extra boost and like decrease in their defense. God, why is Screech just missing? And this is when I realised as well, Giovanni had used a guard spec. Now, I'll be honest, I never realised what guard spec actually did until this video. And I just kept using Screech, thinking, why is this just not working? Why is this not working? And the reason why it's not working is because guard spec stops any stat drops. That's what it does. I didn't realise that's what it ever did, because when I used to do runs, and all of these solo runs I've done so far, I wasn't trying to decrease the stats really on the other Pokemon. This is the first time I've probably tried to decrease the stats of the opposing Pokemon. And yeah, it just threw me completely off, and I lost so much time on that fight just because of that. But you learn something new every day, and I can't believe I never realised that when I was a kid. You've just seen there, we've got a problem against Erica. So, because we got one-shotted by the Razor Leaf, even though we were 9 levels above it, I thought, yeah, you know what, we can actually, she's optional right now, I don't have to beat Erica right at this minute. So it makes more sense to go and try and get up some more levels. Let's go over Lavender Tower, and let's try other areas of Kanto. And Lavender Tower's not a problem whatsoever. We've got Dig to take out the Ghastlies. It's not like we're doing one of the impossible runs where we've literally got no moves to get past them. We can't even rely on Struggle or Bide. God, I'm not looking forward to when one of them runs come back up. We've done 3 or 4 of them now, and they're so draining. But from what I've calculated, there's about 5-6 Pokemon where it is completely impossible to solo Gen 1 with, and that is just based off the moves in Lavender Tower. One of them technically would be possible, but it's also so improbable. I'm pretty sure J-Rose calculated this. It's something in like 1 trillion chance that it's actually possible with good RNG. And I think that was with Weedle. So God knows when Weedle comes up on the. It's going to be it's just going to be interesting. I want to see how far I get with it. And now we taught Earthquake. We're actually going to leave Silph Co and go straight over to Koga, so we can get a few more levels here. We're super effective against his Pokemon, so it makes sense that we should go and do this. And yeah, there's not really much to talk about with Koga. Even if you use Explosion on us, it wouldn't be a problem whatsoever. And we're starting to build a really good move pool out. We've got Earthquake, we've got Dig, we've got Rock Slide, and we've got... I've forgotten what the other one was because I couldn't see it, so we beat Koga there. Body Slam more than likely, because I love Body Slam. So now we've beaten Koga, literally we've come to a bit of a crossroads. There's only a couple of things we can do left. We can go and beat Erica, we can go beat the rival in Silph Co. And you might be disgusted at how high my level is right now. That's the level I had to be able to beat the rival in Silph Co. And even then, it was still a difficult fight. As we leveled up there, you might notice that my defense is already at 191, which is insane. That is probably one of the highest defenses we've seen on this channel so far, especially at this point in the game. This is me realising again that Execute is going to be a problem later on. We've been Leech Seeded, we've got Alakazam up next. Do we outspeed? We do outspeed and hit with Earthquake, and it is one shot, so that's good, but we are nearly 15 levels above it. Blastoise comes out. We're going to go for Dig, because if he goes for Water Gun or Bubble, it's going to be a problem. Water Gun does hit. We're on 11 HP. This isn't good. Come on, crit, crit, crit. No, come on. Crit. No, we don't win it. We need another attempt at this. So, I don't think that it's impossible at this level. Rock Slide is going to be the best move against Pidgeot. Next up is going to be the Growlithe. Rock Slide is super effective, but Earthquake is more accurate, so we're going to go with Earthquake. Next up is Execute. The big mistake last time was that... Oh, I got seeded again. That's not good. So Body Slam is definitely the better move to be using. It's annoying that we got Leech Seeded, but we're going to have to hope that Alakazam doesn't hit us here. Come on, Earthquake. Is it going to be a one-shot? It still is. That's good. And then we're against Blastoise now. So, come on, don't use Water Gun, please. Oh, 1-4. It's looking exactly the same. Ow, we get a crit. Get in, Onyx. Come on, Balboa. Because we've actually got decent speed, we do crit a good amount of times. It's not very often, but yeah, our speed is pretty damn good, so we can get a few crits as we're going through. And now we've got Earthquake. Giovanni starts becoming very, very trivial. His Kangaskhan is still annoying, but it's going to be 2 Earthquakes to take it down. I have used PP ups to get more PP on the Earthquake. So if you need to find PP ups, there's actually 2 in Celadon that I always pick up. If you go to the right of the game corner, cut down the tree and then go up, there's a bit of a path there with some trees at the end. If you press A on the trees there, you'll be able to get PP up, and also there's one on the trees in the game corner. Once you've just gone down the first level, you go down to the trees on the right, and it's at the bottom there. I might do a video soon where I actually point out all the secret items and the entirety of Kanto, if that's something that you guys might actually want to watch or know for yourselves. It might help you out in your own solo runs. Yeah, it might be an interesting video. It might get me... might just be helpful for you guys. So we're against Sabrina now, and we don't have... It's not that we don't have a bad matchup here, but it's not a great matchup either. With having such bad special, yeah, it's not looking great if we get hit by the big moves, but they have terrible defense, so Earthquake's enough to take out the Alakazam. And that just leaves a few more trainers, so we can go to Blaine, and we can go to Giovanni, and get the 8th badge. But I don't know which one I should go to. You know, we'll go to Blaine. We've got a type advantage there, so we might as well get a few more levels here. So his first Pokemon is always a Growlithe, and unless something super effective, like they have a super effective move against you, they'll probably use the likes of Leer or Agility. But because we outspeed, we don't even see any of those moves. We even outspeed the Rapidash. We are 11 levels above it. Arcanine comes out, and it's nearly a one-shot, but he takes himself out in recoil. You know what? We'll take it. we'll take it. Level 54, and we've just got Giovanni left to do. So, we'll soon be off to the Elite Four. But then I realised I also hadn't beat Erica yet. So, for the first time in quite a while, I've actually forgot about Erica until I was outside of Giovanni's gym. We're now nearly twice the level of her Pokemon. We can outspeed, we can one-shot, and we don't forget about her, because we wouldn't be able to complete the game without beating her. And strangely in this fight, the only Pokemon that does some damage on me is the Tangela with Bind. Vileplume, it's not going to be a problem whatsoever. Earthquake, it's going to take it down in 1. And we're at level 55 going into Giovanni. Oh, do you know what actually would be an interesting strategy to use on an Onix? Maybe a substitute fissure tactic. Because we do outspeed quite a lot of things, we could, and we've got very bulky defense. That actually might work. I was very cocky going into this fight. As you can see, I'm already at half HP. Because I didn't want to go back and heal. I had very good moves against the Pokemon. So I just thought, you know what, let's just go for it. Let's see how we do. And we did surprisingly well. I'll be honest, we did very, very well against him at half HP. But we also are nearly 12 levels above that Nidoking. And the Rhydon comes out next. Is he going to take it out? No, Rhydon is quite bulky, so 2 Earthquakes takes out the Rhydon. And that means we finally beat all trainers in Kanto, all the gym leaders, sorry, and we can move off to the Elite Four. Also, I forgot. I always forget this. You go against the rival before you go to the Elite Four. Now this is a good warm-up to see whether you're going to match up well against him. The Pidgeot now doesn't know Sand Attack, which is fantastic. It's one of the most detrimental moves that his team has. And when he doesn't have it, that Pidgeot just becomes so easy. Rhyhorn comes out next. Earthquake's going to be the best move here to use against it. And we're at level 58. Growlithe comes out now. We're just going to go for a dig. Just go for a dig. It's a one-shot. We're looking very good against his team right now. And now come out the big hitters. Execute's going to be a free hit with Body Slam. And he goes for Solar Beam, but we outspeed. That's good. We're still at full HP for the Alakazam. We've not been Leech Seed. We've not been Paralyzed. And he puts up Reflect. Yay! That's going to make this harder. Oh no, we're at 11 HP going into the Blastoise. This is gonna be impossible. Yeah. That went south so quickly. Okay, let's try this again. So we did pick up Fissure from Giovanni. I'm actually going to try it out in here and see if it works for us. We are quite speedy, naturally speedy compared to a lot of his team because we're over leveled. I wonder if we can beat that Blastoise with Fissure. That'd be quite funny. I should have really gone to find Substitute as well, but I've already been... Yes, we get the Fissure over the Solar Beam. That was very lucky. So Alakazam's next. Can we get another? No, we're gonna go for we'll go for Earthquake. We'll save that Fissure PP for the Blastoise. Okay, it all comes down to this. Can we beat this Blastoise with Fissure? Come on. We missed. I used Withdraw, thank God. And the Fissure hits. I need someone in the comments to tell me, is using one-hit KO moves against my rules in any way, do you think? Because they are very overpowered moves, but they're also such bad... Like, their accuracy is so bad that you can't rely on them. I think it's fair, personally. But you guys tell me down in the comments. It'll be interesting to know your opinion. Moving into Elite Four, straight away, one Pokemon in. We're not looking good against Lorelei. Yeah. But already over-leveled. It's time to use the rare candies. So we did a little bit more training up in Victory Road for this, but we did use all of our rare candies in order to even make this viable, this fight. And we had to rely on Fissure. which we got to. We hit twice in a row. Earthquake's going to be the best move against the Jinx. Can we get a fissure against the Lapras? Yes! Oh, second time victory against Lorelei with an Onyx. It might just be a bit unfair that I'm using fissure. I really need someone. I really need a second opinion on this. It's no point talking about Bruno very much. Wait a sec. Are you kidding me? That's 2 videos in a row now. That Hitmonchan has frozen me twice in the last 2 videos. Oh my god. I really hate this Hitmonchan. As soon as you passed it, the whole fight is so easy. Why has Bruno suddenly become the run breaker? Oh wow, Freeze is just overpowered in Gen 1. As soon as you're frozen in Gen 1, unless you get hit by a fire move, which the Hitmonchan does have Fire Punch but barely uses it, they are not. You have lost that attempt. And it's so annoying because out of all the Elite Four members, Agatha became the easiest. I can't believe saying this, but Agatha was actually the easiest one on this run. Every Pokemon went down to an Earthquake. We are level 74 though, so our attack is enough to take him out. And we beat Agatha first try without losing a single point of HP. And we can move on to Lance. I'm in a very good mood today. This run's actually been very fun. Very unpredictable. We've got two challenges left. Let's see how we do against Lance. So, first up, he has his Gyarados, which I am worried about. If Rock Slide doesn't KO it, it doesn't. Hydro Pump is going to one-shot. Yeah. I'm going to need more levels here. That's really annoying. Unless it's a range. Is it a range? No, it's not a range, but we did get him into the Hyper Potion. No, it's not going to be enough. But, ooh, Hydro Pump missed. We might have a chance here. I'm going to go for Body Slam. We get the Paralysis, and 2 Body Slams is enough to take down a Dragonair. That's interesting to know. Dragonairs are not weak to Rock, but the Dragonite is because it's part Flying type. Earthquake can take out a Dragonair in 1. Aerodactyl is also weak to Rock Slide, even though it's a Rock type itself, because it's a Rock Flying. And Dragonite, it's going to take 2 hits. 3 hits because I switched to Body Slam. That's really... We got past the Lance with an Onyx without even losing a single hit HP point. And now we're on to the champion. Is level 75 going to be enough to do this? Let's find out. So, Wacko starts out with his Pidgeot and we're going to go for Rock Slide. Is it enough to one-shot? It's still not. And it goes for Rock Slide off Mirror Move. Not the worst thing that could have happened. I definitely prefer that. Alakazam's next. Do we outspeed? We do. An Earthquake hits and does big damage. It's a one-shot. Get in. Rhydon's next. We know this is going to be easy. It's going to take 2 hits of Earthquake. That's interesting. Rhydon must have better defense than I thought it did. Or it's just the fact that our attack is so low, so low. I think I checked it before this fight and it's not even about 100 yet. Earthquake one-shots the Arcanine and we've got 2 more Pokemon left. We've got Executor. Fissure hits and it's an Oko. Now we just got the Blastoise. Can we one-shot this Blastoise? Come on, Fissure. We missed. It used Withdraw. We missed. And he used Blizzard. No. No. We tank it. And there goes all of our Fissures. Oh, this is painful. Fissure's the only way we're getting past that Blastoise. In 1 hit. That's what we need to do. Okay, let's try this again. I think it's definitely possible at this level. So let's Rock Slide the Pidgeot. And this time it's a critical hit. Next up's the Alakazam. Earthquake comes out. And it's a one-shot. That's 2 Pokemon down, 2 moves used. Earthquake, last time we did 2 hits on the Rhydon, so we'll have to see how much it does this time. Yeah, it's still going to be a 2-shot. But he uses Tail Whip. That actually... Oh, Badge Boost will play into effect with that. With lowering our defense on the Badge Boost, it actually boosts our other stats. That actually might... That might give us the edge. But then we level up, which cancels it out. Got way too ahead of myself, and we've been put to sleep by Executor. Thankfully, it's only got normal type moves now, so that means that each hit's only going to do 1 or 2 damage. So we don't really have to worry too much here, even against Stomp. Barrage is the better move it could be using here, but with each attack, we're losing HP, so which is not the greatest thing. We get the paralysis off, second body slam takes it down, and now we're at the Blastoise. Fissure misses again, he goes for withdraw. Fissure misses again, he goes for withdraw. Fissure misses again, it's a third. Yes. 4th turn Fissure finally hits. How did he only use withdraw 4 times? He had Hydro Pump there waiting, same with Blizzard. Oh, I've got to tell you guys, this Onyx is a very bad Pokemon. But it was also a very enjoyable run. It was a really good challenge. A lot of unpredictability. Yeah, that was just fun. That was just fun. So, Balboa has entered the Hall of Fame at level 76 at 5 hours and 48 in-game minutes. I did tell you it wasn't going to be a quick run. We had to go against a lot of optional trainers. We had to use a lot of moves that, like in the early game, that took multiple times to hit. Because we couldn't do one-shot hits most of the time, that's where the time just crept up and crept up. But we had to go against more and more trainers just to get those levels up. But that is the end of this run. Now, as you've seen on the last couple of videos, we've changed things up a bit. So we actually spin the wheel for the next video right now. And that way you guys know what's coming up next Friday. So once the credits have rolled, let's spin the wheel and let's see what comes up next. I think even though Onyx was a challenge, I want to have another challenge here. So let's see what comes up on the wheel. So I hope you like the aesthetics that we're doing here and the way that this is set up. I like this. So first up we have... You have got to be kidding me. Am I really going to do this to myself again? Metapod's going to be the hardest one to use here. And I usually go for the ones that it's going to be the hardest run. Oh, and Mew comes up as well. Oh, we're going with Metapod. Next week it's going to be a Metapod only video. Oh my god, this is gonna hurt. Right guys, thank you for watching the video. If you got to this point, you are a legend. If you like and subscribe, we'll see you on the next video with Metapod. With a bloody Metapod. See you later guys, take care.